All right, so welcome back. We got the E82 back in the garage. So now we are just gonna continue cutting all this stuff out, drawing all the boxes out in the rear, get ready to put the cage in the back. I've already bent a couple hoops, so we're just kind of test fit, and then we'll be able to build a hoop based off of kind of my spare hoops that we've had. Basically, those are like messed up hoops that didn't fit exactly right, so I saved them so we can build them as mock-up pieces. And then also, we're actually going to do a couple things. We're going to do drive-by cable instead of wires, so I'll show you guys how we're going to do that. And we're actually going to be putting a radium fuel cell right over there. So I'm going to be cutting the floor out here. Don't really know exactly how I'm going to do it, so you guys can kind of stay with me, but we're going to cut it out there and get the fuel cell to fit down in there because I originally actually cut the tank in half, the stock tank, and got it all set up and ready to go. When we put it underneath it, the quick change is dead center and is designed for an off center setup, so it'll actually is going to hit the drive shaft. So can't use that. We have to actually use another setup, which Radium hooked it up, and we're going to use a Radium fuel cell in there. So let me get that. I'm going to vacuum everything out right now because we've been stripping it out and cleaning it the best possible. The rear deck's gone, which you guys probably saw in the other episode. There we go. And we just cut that out to lose some weight, and so we can put the rear mount radiator back there and get the fans all tucked in the right angle and go from that. So give me a second. I'm gonna get the other fuel cell and I'll show you guys what we're gonna do, how we're gonna cut it. And like I said, I'm just gonna vacuum it real fast. So stay with us. Okay, so here's the radium fuel cell we're using. I think this is I believe this is an 8-gallon with the little FCST in it, which is nice because it has out to pump, return, vent, and fill all built in with a level gauge because I have to know how much fuel I have. That's a big pet peeve of mine. Has all this set up, so it makes it really nice to just add to the fuel pumps, lift pump, makes it really nice. It's really, really easy. It's gonna drop in. So what we're doing now is I'm gonna mark out an edge and cut a square out of the floor, and then I'm gonna install it right down there. So give me a second to start cutting this thing, and I'll kind of show you what it looks like as we're cutting it. Okay, so here's the line that I ended up cutting. So I cut down that side, straight across that back up here, and right across the flat of this. So there we go. So that comes out like that. Hopefully that is in theory the right size. It looks up, and I missed all the hoses, so that's kind of nice. Make sure you don't cut into this, which I almost did. I think that's just some old, we're not using this, so it doesn't really matter. But I cut right here along this edge. So I'm gonna see if this thing fits. It looks like I didn't make a very straight line here. Right here started to curve a little left, so I'll probably straighten that out. And then the box should probably fit down in this hole. So hopefully that fits in here. All right, so we got it all in, and it is modified. And ignore the hammer. The hammer is actually just what's holding it up. But see, it's basically flat here, and then it curves down there. It's flat underneath the car, and it should be perfect. Fuel pump and all that stuff's in here, so it should be good for throttle, on throttle, off throttle. It won't really matter. Maybe I'll turn this guy around, but we're basically going to run the filler neck. I probably will turn it around. So we'll run the filler neck from here. It'll run this way, up there, and then it's going to fill up right here in the back. So I was going to put it out the window, but then I have to do extra shielding. I think I'm just going to run it out there, and then the fuel line is going to go straight back and then around and down into the hole too. So this is where we're going, where we're starting with it. Let me do some fab work. I'm going to fab up a square brace that holds this in place, and then maybe some straps underneath, but I haven't really decided yet. But I've just got to try and get it in position first and get it all set up for you guys. So that's what she looks like right now. All right, so we finished the cradle. The cradle basically just welds right onto here. So it's welded here, it comes this way, it's welded right there, goes across like that, welds straight down. It's actually not straight on purpose. So it's a little bit tilted back just because I wanted to pick up right where this all these pinch welds came together. Down here it's kind of flimsy, so I wanted to pick it all up there. And then it comes up and then welds right there, which takes care of all of it. So from the side, that's what it looks like. It's nice and flat. I put like a little bubble level on it to make it flat. And what we're gonna do now actually is we're gonna take this kit, which Radium also sent us this guy. It's a 90-degree pickup. So we're gonna take this guy off because we're not filling straight from up here. We're actually gonna be filling, we're going that way and then up over to there. If we can get to the factory location, we'll probably take factory location. If not, we're probably gonna go up to the top up there in the rear deck and build some kind of plate or something to fill it from up there, just so it's easy to get to. So let me replace this with this guy basically. So I removed the old one, which is pretty easy. Just take the 6 bolts out. Now when you're gonna install this one, this, I believe it's just a -20 fitting. What you have to do though is make sure that this bottom piece, see this bottom rubber piece? That this bottom rubber piece ends up underneath it. So you can actually check right through the top to make sure it's there. But you wanna make sure that the bottom bladder part of it, see how it's not all the way through on this side? So just poke it down with something without dropping it in there. Oh, there we go. And you wanna make sure that, see how it's underneath now? You wanna make sure it's underneath there. The reason why is if you ever flip the car, that's what actually closes the valve so that it goes boop, and basically the screw just pulls up and closes that off so you don't pour a bunch of fuel back out the wrong direction. So that's just kind of like a fuel pop level piece. You're gonna have another one on the fill, but I mean on the, what's it called? Wherever it is on the vent. There we go. You're gonna have another one on the vent that has like a bubble level thing in it. But this is the one that you want so it doesn't spill out. So anyways, then you just simply bolt it back down. Then we're gonna take this, and I left the end on of it so we don't get stuff in it, but this guy is gonna screw on and you can point it any direction you want. We're gonna be pointing that direction because we want it to go boop, right up there. All right, so I pulled the fuel cell back out just to kind of show you guys what it looks like in the end. So it's pretty much all finished. What we're gonna do is we're gonna put a flat plate over here, a flat plate over here, all the way up to there, and then we're going to build the firewall from here up. So this will be all covered up, and then there would just be like a flat plate of metal on both sides to shield it all in and shield it away from the driver. Something else I did, just so you guys noticed, is that I tack welded all the nuts on the bottom here and all the nuts underneath this. So that way you're not trying to use a wrench and everything else. You just set the fuel cell on top, thread it all in, tighten it down, and you're good to go. So next part of this is we're probably going to do the cage actually. So I'll probably either do the cage or either cut out for the quick change, but most likely probably just gonna start attacking the cage. And it's cool because this car already has kind of a tube and stuff in here. So check out the next episode and we'll show you what it looks like with a full cage in it. But anyways, thank you for watching. This episode was on the fuel cell and how to install it. We'll do the fuel lines and all that after we get the motor and everything else in it, but I just want to give you guys kind of a update on how we did the bracketry for the fuel cell. And I like to do it before the cage is in, so I'm not diving around the cage trying to make it. So yeah, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it, stay tuned, subscribe. If not, I apologize, but enjoy your day either way. Cool.